Hello everyone, I'm Sean Marasigan and today we're diving into an important topic in education, how students learn. And for us to understand this better, we'll be looking into the experiential learning theory by David Kolb. So Kolb's model categorizes learners based on how they process and engage with information. For my report specifically, we'll only explore the first two of these styles. Theorists, or also known as assimilators, and pragmatists, or also known as convergers. For the learning objectives, by the end of my report, hopefully you would be able to differentiate between theorist and pragmatist learning style, um, identify learning activities that cater to each style, and recognize some challenges that can come up when teaching students with these learning styles. So to begin, David Kolb experiential learning theory proposes that learning is a process shaped by experience. So he describes a cycle of four stages. So the first one is concrete experience, and then followed by reflective observation, and then abstract conceptualization, and active experimentation. So based on this, Kolb identified four learning styles. So each emphasizing a different way of approaching this learning cycle. So we have the theorists, pragmatists, activists, and reflectors. But in my report, again, just like what I mentioned, we'll only focus on the first two. Theorists who are reflective learners and pragmatists who are more action oriented. So let's begin with theories. So these learners highly value abstract conceptualization. So meaning to say they thrive on theories and concepts. So as well as reflective observation. So which involves examining and processing these theories. So theories most especially excel in analyzing information, um, and developing logical theories. So their strength lies in inductive reasoning. So moving from specific observation to general conclusions. So this type of learners often prefers individual activities that allow for deep reflection rather than group discussion. So you might be considering, if you identified theories, you might be considering how you try to um, create activities, learning activities, especially because they would want to be more individually working on tasks alone rather than being in a group for discussions. So, in terms of learning activities, tourists prefer mostly lectures, research papers, um, and case studies. So, they enjoy environments wherein they will be able to reflect and on the content, on the what is being taught, okay, on the material quietly. So without much interruption, of course, with by the form of interactions. So for example, a tourist might be highly engaged in a class wherein it involves in-depth readings and theoretical discussion. So you have to consider this whenever you encounter tourist learners. On the other hand, pragmatists, who are also known as convergers, like just like theorists, pragmatists value abstract conceptualization. But unlike theorists, they prioritize active experimentation over reflective observation. So pragmatists excel more on finding real-world applications for their abstract ideas, which makes them stronger at problem solving and practical tasks. So they prefer working with things rather than with people, and gravitate towards hands-on activities. So they were more on hands-on. They like um, trying to apply what they have learned rather than just being reflective about these concepts or what they have gained. So in terms of learning preferences, pragmatists enjoy laboratory work, field studies, and other activities that allow them to actively test and apply theories in real world settings. So they find learning most engaging, especially when they can directly observe and experiment with their environment. So let's say, for example, a pragmatist would thrive more in a course that allows them to conduct experiments, work on practical projects as well. So these are what they love doing. So to sum it up, so to both theorists and pragmatists value abstract concepts, of course, but their approaches to learning are distinct. Theorists focus more on reflection, while pragmatists focus more on action. So, but both styles bring unique strengths to the classroom or to learning. So, for example, a theorist with their analytical skills, of course, can help in discussions, especially in to trying to decipher meanings and learning contents. On the other hand, pragmatists they are more into practical problem solving abilities. So they try to see how these concepts are applied and try to test it at the same time. So, in conclusion, David Kolb's theories and pragmatists show us two different but equally valuable approaches to learning. So, theorists help us understand complex concepts, while pragmatists find ways to apply these ideas to real world problems. Understanding these styles, most especially, can help educators, especially in terms of trying to create a more effective learning environments that cater for diverse preferences. Just like what David Kolb said, learning is the process whereby knowledge is created through the transformation of experience. All right, so thank you for listening. And to wrap up my report, here are a couple of questions that you can think about, and then you can post your answer as a reply in my report. So the first one is, how can educators incorporate both theorist and pragmatist learning styles, most especially in distance learning activities? And lastly, what challenges might educators face when accommodating both theorists and pragmatists in a single lesson? So you can also suggest ways on how to address these challenges. Here are the references that I've used for my report. Okay, so again, thank you for listening and have a good day.